All right. So what's up, Mike? What's happening?
What's going on, man? What's going on? What's up, everybody? Welcome to The Scoop. What episode are we in? Are we in episode 100? Four. Okay, four.
Yeah, we're definitely getting news from different sources. This one we're going to talk about today. Isn't this from Fox News, Mike?
Yeah, Fox News, man.
So Mike chose this article, and it sounds interesting. Yeah, it's from Fox News. Let's see if there's an author. It says Greg R.E. Greg Ree.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who that is. So.
Yeah, is that a real name? Like his last name is just Ree?
Ree. Well, if it is, he probably got teased a lot.
Maybe.
In grade school.
All right, so let's get into this.
All right, anyway, so the headline reads, Tom Cotton, he's a senator. I think he's from, let's see here. He's a senator from Arkansas. He suggests Chinese students shouldn't be allowed to study sciences in the United States. All right, so let that sink in for a few seconds before I start reading this. All right, here we go. Senator Tom Cotton told Fox News Sunday Morning Futures that it was a scandal, quote unquote scandal, that the United States has trained some Chinese nationals to go back to China to compete for our jobs, to take our business, and ultimately to steal our property and design weapons and other devices that can be used against the American people. I'm guessing he's referring to the coronavirus, because I think he was one of the first to say that, oh, this thing's like a weapon from China or whatever, right? I could be wrong, you know. So Cotton, who has vowed that China will pay for what he has called its deliberate choice to unleash the coronavirus onto the world, went on to say that the U.S. should take a hard look at the visas awarded to Chinese nationals. He said that if Chinese students want to come here and study Shakespeare and the Federalist Papers, that's what they need to learn from America, Cotton said. But they don't need to learn quantum computing and artificial intelligence from America, end quote. So,
I already have some thoughts.
Let's hear it. What are your thoughts?
Okay, first I want to just put this out here that I'm not really like in the know of like anything, because like I don't watch news and so I just want to put that out there. I'm not very educated politically, but like this strikes me as like very egotistical from this guy. Like he's worried that like America is so superior that these people are going to come and study and learn and take the information back. But I don't know if that's the case, and it sounds I don't want to say racist, but
there could be like some like throw in some paranoia in there, or
yeah, like he doesn't like Chinese people because he feels that, I don't know, maybe I'm just going wildly speculating, but I don't really like what this dude has to say, to be honest. But
yeah,
what do you think?
Well, you know, it's funny that it's tough because, like, you know, on one end you're like, okay, you know, did you ever watch there was a show, it was a show called The Americans. Did you ever see that show?
No, I've never seen it.
All right, so basically it's based off of a true story where like Russians sent spies to the United States. They weren't like James Bond type spies. They were like, they would like live amongst us type spies. Like, you know, it could have been your next door neighbor, like with kids and stuff. You know, they played like softball with you and stuff, but they were like Russians that learned how to assimilate themselves in your society, and they would like send info back to Russia. So that was the show.
Okay.
Right. Like when I first read this article, it brought me back to that show because it was based off of a true story where like the CIA or FBI actually apprehended Russian
like intelligence
spies, like intelligence agents, and they were like deported back to Russia. This was like way back, like maybe like in the 60s or 70s.
Okay.
Right. So when it was like a lot easier to bring people in, right? I kind of get it in a way. Like, what's the easiest way to get into the United States, right? Fucking go to school here. They don't really vet you all that well, you know, because like it's not, because like millions of kids from all over the world apply to colleges here, right? And then, you know, and most of them get visas to come here and study. Eventually, like after they get their degrees, they either go back to their original country or they stay here and get work, you know, and so on and so forth. So like, you know, like he's thinking, okay, Chinese are sending over spies to study here and then go work at like the Pentagon or CDC or whatever. And he's saying that these Chinese people are like sending back information, like, you know, stuff that the Chinese could use against the US. So I get that. How likely is it? Maybe not very likely, right?
Because how are they going to just worm their way into like high like?
And plus, like the Chinese, I think the Chinese don't need to send spies when they can just get hackers to do it, right?
Yeah.
Why send someone? Right? Here's the thing, right? It's like it's much more expensive to actually train a person and send that person here, and that person has to like go through school, get a job, and all that kind of stuff. That takes years. When like a hacker, right, can just infiltrate whatever.
Yeah,
right?
and get a lot of information.
And get a lot of information.
Probably
just like that.
Information.
A lot more information than one guy, right? Yeah. So, you know, it's or, you know, like they could do like what they do in the movies where like they turn somebody from the inside, right? They'll get like his aide, right? Like somebody that works in the cabinet, they'll turn him into like a Chinese, like double spy, whatever. And shit, I watch too many movies.
I kind of think that.
Right.
I kind of
think
that,
it does sound racist in like, you know, when you first read it, but then, you know.
Well, I think if a lot of people share this attitude, it just kind of like, I'm trying to figure out a way to explain this. It kind of makes people hate one another. Like if this guy already has some kind of animosity with people coming over and studying, then maybe that animosity, like if all of us felt that way, then America is against China, but maybe like we could get along if we just had a better attitude. I don't know. This is like, is this stupid? Is this like kindergarten mentality or?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, like ideally other countries should get along, especially the superpowers.
Yeah.
Right. You know, like the countries that really scare us are like the countries that can fire the same shit that we can fire at them. Right. So, you know, like we don't want to piss off Russia or China and vice versa. They don't want to piss us off either. Right.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I don't think anyone wants to go to war or, you know, have kind of.
It's like it fucks up the economy and you spend so much money on it. Right. Yeah. Speaking of money, education is big. Right. Especially in states that aren't really like states that people go to for education.
Indeed.
Right? Like all the popular universities that, you know, all the Asian or foreign students go to are either in like California or up in the East Coast. Right. You know, where Harvard is. Harvard's in Massachusetts. Right. So and all the like Stanfords and, you know, all those nice schools. So they make money off of like students from foreign countries. Because then like
a business.
Yeah, it's definitely a business. Like they don't pay. I know this from experience because like, you know, like international students, they don't pay like state tuition. They pay like a full tuition that somebody else from like out of state has to pay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like, let's say if my kid wants to go to UNLV because she lives in the state, she pays like an in-state tuition, right? But somebody from California has to pay more because that person doesn't live in the state, right? So that's what international students have to go through. And here's another thing. International students, they can't apply. Well, some do, but for most cases, they can't apply for student aid or like loans, and sometimes they can't even work here. So when they come here, they have to show that they can afford to come to school here. So like imagine them paying for like a full tuition, no discount, no nothing, and they have to show that they can pay for like a whole semester or for a whole year. So that's a lot of money to them, especially if they're coming from like a poor ass country.
Yeah.
So like
maybe they're just trying to make it just like everybody else.
Yeah.
Well, most of them, that's probably the case.
Yeah. So it's like, and the U.S. is a magnet because we have a lot of good schools here, a lot of good universities, you know, like,
Right.
so it's a business for us. So if once we stop giving out visas to students, that's a slash in our economy. You know, that's one thing that makes us money, is that we market our schools not just locally, but we market it internationally as well. So
I'm definitely curious to see. We did receive some comments on the last video.
Oh yeah. Thank you guys for the comments. Yeah, I saw that you answered, so I was like, yeah, I'll leave you to it.
Yeah, I just I can't help myself. I have to look and see how it's going.
Hey, that one comment by what's his name, Seth. That was like very, very informative. I was like, oh shit, you know, I didn't even think of it that way. So I was like, hey, you know, shout out to Seth. Thank you for shining some light on the subject. Because, you know, we're just a couple of morons. We don't know anything.
We just like talking about.
Yeah, we just like to talk.
So, I'm definitely curious to see what everyone thinks about this. And this could be a little bit of a hot subject, I'm sure. But
yeah, I'm sure like there has to be like a Chinatown in Arkansas, and there must have, you know, they must be pissed off about that, right? Like there has to be like an Asian community in that state, and, you know, they're in uproar right now.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean,
have to dig up some. I have to look up this story a little more, just read a little bit about it.
Yeah,
I wasn't prepared. I've been busy all day.
What were you doing?
Painting with my wife. Well, not painting. We're getting ready to paint. We're doing all the fixing the walls and everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just a lot of work.
Well, at least it's not hot, right? It's like,
no, it's nice.
It's nice over there. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
Well, I think that's pretty much all we have to say about that. Love to hear some comments below, and
hit us up, comments.
Don't forget, subscribe.
Mm-hmm.
Mash one of them like or dislike buttons.
Preferably this.
Yeah, definitely. We'd prefer a like, but whatever. So we'll see you in the next video. We'll have another story for you.
Cool. See you guys next time.
All right, see ya. Peace
out.